Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
Nope. Nope.
Mamma mia!
Welcome to Game Masters.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Game Masters. I am, well, you guys know who I am. My name is Steven, and I'm here with Sick Sickly, better known as Brandy Ahmer, gamer Ahmer, who's sick yet again.
It's a gift, I would say at this point.
Well, I heard you were going to see Chasen this weekend and Votary and all them, and you wanted to give a gift to them.
Yes, sharing is caring, everyone. I'll be better by then, okay? It is just some sinuses with all this crazy weather we're having. You know,
Ain't that the truth? Ain't
with
that
the snow, the rain, the cold. Wait, more snow, more rain, more cold, and hopefully it's done.
Oh, well, it's good to see some of the folks in the chat room here, coming in and hanging out here.
Yes.
What does he say? He says, this Mario must be related to Brandy. I wonder why he said that.
It's crazy because you were just talking about fighting before we started. So I think it's more related to you than me. I am a lover, not a fighter, okay?
Yeah, and we're kind of we had to do some renovating, would you say? Bringing the chat room in, our normal program that we use. It decided to break. They broke it. YouTube changed some things, so I called Brandy. I called Brandy like an hour ago, and I was like, "Hey, we got to do this workaround. Are you okay with doing it this way?" And she was like, "Yeah." So we got it set up. So now we've got both YouTube channels. I believe we have Facebook. We don't have your Facebook yet, but that can wait for next week because we didn't even know if this was going to work. This was like okay, we'll give it a shot, and then if it works. So now, Brandy, we might be able to move forward once I can clean up a little bit of the mess on here. We can move forward and get more and more chats in here, which I'm kind of stoked about. But if you want to give a shout out, yeah, Chasen, they broke it again, man. Like I don't know if it's a YouTube thing where they update, because if you notice now on YouTube, you can broadcast in what is it, 4:3 or you could vertical video instead of widescreen. And so by doing that, they change things all the time. They break things. It's just how they are. So Brandy, I've been busy. Before we get into this, because we're going to be talking about this censorship, so I'm going to censor the show right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, here we go.
No, I've actually been working on something. Check this out. I got a new toy this week.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about that.
I got a 3D printer, so I printed that out today, and then I printed this out. I'm going to make this, I think, a magnet, maybe. What do you think? Or put it in the game room. It's the
that'll be pretty cool.
It's the Mario. I did it with the different colors with the where he's fixing things. So I did that one.
You can put it on a fridge or something.
Well, I have my fridge in the game room here, so I thought, well, maybe I'll put it on that. But what I was going to say to you, because remember I asked you, I said, like, can you hear anything? And you're like, no, I can't hear nothing. And I was like, well, that's good because the printer's going nuts right now. So there's what they call the poop chute in the back, and that's where all the excess filament goes when it's not being, like, after they change colors and stuff. It almost looks like they're chopping off the tips of pencils or whatever, and it goes down the chute. So what I'm actually printing right now is a poop chute slide that captures it and puts it in a little bin so I could just throw them away.
Interesting.
It's actually really cool. I printed today some attachments for my tree so I can hang things off the tree. This thing's like going to be pretty cool. But a buddy of mine knows how to take our Game Masters logo and make it an STL file.
Oh.
So I can print out some flat, maybe magnet Game Master. Now mine's not as big as Kevin's. Kevin's going to show up, and Kevin makes all the really cool 3D printing.
Yeah, his are really cool.
Things. I'm still a noob at this, right? So, I'm going to print some of this stuff out. So I'm just having fun. I'm going to print some stuff out for my kids and whatnot. And
that's pretty cool.
But I thought it was pretty cool. Very easy to set up. Even you could do it. That's what I was impressed with.
Could do it.
You could do it. Non-technical, you could do it.
Let's not get carried away. I was 8-bit before the show started, so let's hope I don't revert back to my old self. Yeah, it was rough. Let me tell you, it was rough getting on here tonight, trying to get the internet.
What's up, low carb? So, this whole censoring thing, should we talk a little bit about this censoring thing? Do we want to get into this right now? Because I know, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter show tonight, only because Brandy's not feeling good, and I respect that. She wants to get to bed. So,
yeah, I got to get better by the weekend, guys.
She's coming to see y'all.
Gonna have a great time. I'll be fine,
Well, that's debatable, but
true.
We're gonna have some fun anyways. So, they're still talking about the 3D printer here. Fun fact: I put Let's Spot 3D printers on contract for the military a few years before COVID. Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm having some fun with this 3D printer. Pretty much, I'm sure it's a lot easier to use than what they were a couple of years ago, but I'm having some fun. Yeah. So we titled this thing Video Game Censorship, and we did get a couple videos in from some viewers tonight, which is really cool. So a lot of our viewers, they like to just hang out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. They like to just hang out, and I see Daryl's joining us here. What's going on? A lot of people like to hang out and not comment, and that's cool. But there's Brandy, there's people that have sent in a bunch of stuff. So which is really cool. We're going to look forward to that. But when it comes to censorship, let's start with video games itself. Let's go down that road before we get into like in the community, in the YouTuber. In video games, are you okay with censorship? Are you okay if a game is censored or not brought to the U.S. because maybe it has a racial slur in the game? Or it may be of a sexual nature, or it is bashing a religion, or it is. Hey guys, we're going deep on this one.
Yeah, we started right out. I'm not ready for this.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. Do you feel it's okay that we get that censored, and the video game companies say, "Wait a minute, I'm not going to take this out"? Well, then you guys just don't get this game. Are you okay with that? Or do you feel like it shouldn't be censored? It should be put out the exact way the game was designed and made.
Yeah, I mean, I think people can go back and forth on this like all day long, depending on all the circumstances. I mean, you look at games today, and so many of them say so many different curse words. They say like crazy things that happen. You have murder, you have killing, you have crime, you have all this stuff going on in these games. So it's kind of crazy to me that certain games can be censored to a point where we don't even get them at all, or they can't change some things up if they weren't allowed here, which is crazy because we have like the First Amendment and all these other things. So you would think that we would still get them. There's crazy movies out there. They just have a rating system. Like we have a I think that and they shouldn't just discredit things. Like as long as the company goes the right way and pretty much says, we went through the rating system. It's rated at a mature. It's rated here. So I don't know. I think we should be like way past that where they're censoring things.
I would agree, but I'd also so I'm going to play devil's advocate like I do every week. I'm going to throw this out there to people. Maybe you didn't think of this, but I get it. They don't send it over here. They kept it over there. Let's say it was a Japanese version of the game. They didn't bring the game over.
Yeah,
we are that small 1 to 2% of the population, Brandy, that we collect, and we know how to get access to these games that are outside of the U.S., right? The common person isn't going to get on eBay and go hunt down a Famicom or, a Japanese Sega or anything like that so that they can play these censored games. Project Retro Games is another one he's restoring games back to their originality as well as putting translations in and things like that. So I'm wondering, is it such a big deal in our community? Because we know how to get our hands on the original copies. Or is it you'd rather not have to jump through the headaches and the hoops.
I think maybe we should take a trip back down memory lane.
Okay.
So, back in the day, more so in your time with the Atari, I wasn't even born yet. They had a lot of games because anyone and everyone could put those games out. They had what we call those mystique games.
Right.
They're very sexually inappropriate games, and they were pretty much released. You have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween cartridge. And what they did back in the day was they would put them up on top of the high shelf, so I've been told, or they would put them like in the back, in like a restricted area at certain places, or you would have to ask for those games. So you often still see those games today, and you'll see them still sealed, you'll see them in a clean shape because they weren't out there. And anyone and everyone could create these games back then. So there wasn't really too much when it came to like censorship back in the day. And then of course you have the video game market crash, and then you fast forward to Nintendo, and you have, what was it? It was like religion against Nintendo, and they did.
Well, they did have those Bible games, if you remember. Nintendo, the NES did the Bible games. There was about 4 or 5 of them.
Yes, like the Wisdom Tree games.
The Wisdom Tree games, and I thought they were well received at the time. A lot of them. I mean, as somebody, I grew up in the church. I still am involved in the church and stuff, but I thought they were really janky games. I really like. I played them, and I was like, just give me Mario. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I understand what they're trying to do here, and I know there was super religious parents out there that didn't believe in video games, and they were of the devil, and this and that. And that was the only way their kid could play video games. I had friends like that, and I felt bad so much to this day for those kids. But I don't know. Was it Nintendo that had a problem with that, do you think?
I mean, I think people just saw Nintendo because when you look at it, everyone knows what Nintendo is. Parents still nowadays, you show them a PlayStation and they go, "Oh, Nintendo." You show them a Sega, they go, "Oh, you're Nintendo." So I think Nintendo was just out there.
But that's like a phone. Think about it with iPods. You could have had an MP3 player and it's an iPod. It didn't matter if it was something generic at Walmart. I mean, that's just how people are, just like today. You have an iPhone. No, that's an Android. No, it's an iPhone. Like, everybody has an iPhone. Does that make sense?
Yes. No? And then you kind of fast forward a little bit to Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yes.
Yep, you have Night Trap. You have these games
Grand Theft Auto. You have all of these games coming out and about, and what happens from all that? They censor the blood, and they put in their sweat. They create a rating system for games like this. There was a game on the PlayStation 1, I think it was like Thrill Kill or something. It was like a fighting game that was like a little over the top, and it never was released. But obviously people have made like repros, I guess, of it on Etsy. Yeah. I buy some different repros on Etsy. I bought some repros just recently. I bought that Night Trap for Switch.
Yep.
That was in the Play Store or the Switch store, so it wasn't anything elaborate. But I don't know. I really like that game. I don't have the original on the Sega CD. You probably do, right?
Yeah, I do. And the funny thing is they said in the court that Night Trap would never come back to another Nintendo console, or it would never come to a Nintendo console. And then the funny thing was that
they brought it back.
Switch, it came back. Obviously years later.
Lindsay in my chat room says that's why putting Mortal Kombat on Nintendo kicked up so much dust. Nintendo was for kids. Yep. And you know what, that was true. Sega kind of pushed the envelope. In TurboGrafx, I want to say was more of like the PlayStation of today. And what I mean by that is they had more of the Splatterhouse games. They had more of the adult, and I think that's why it didn't do well back then, because the adults really didn't want to play video games. You only had a handful of people that wanted to play.
Yeah, I mean, you had that edgy character. You had Sonic, Gotta Go Fast. You had all these ads. Like, I have original ads. of Sonic with like a spray can. And it's like the original like cell art or something for the magazine.
So they're telling me the Wisdom Tree NES games were not official. I disagree with that, because on the official list, in order to get the complete North American collection, the Wisdom Tree games are on that list. So they were licensed by Nintendo. They have the Nintendo insignia on the packaging.
See, because it's weird, on my list, I don't think they're on it.
Yeah, they're on my list, as well as the, what is it, the 5-in-1, the 6-in-1? I forget what it is.
Let me pull them up.
But they were officially licensed.
Game. And yeah.
People probably just didn't really mess with them. So
I'm curious if they have that official. They don't have the official. Hold on.
On my list, they have it.
Oh, well, on the actual like label itself, it doesn't say.
Yeah, I'll have to see here. Tecmo, Bonus Tecmo, he says the one I hated in the arcade archive release of Sunset Riders, when they changed the name of the boss, Chief Scalpum to Chief Wiggum. Oh, they were bootleg, so I'll have to look into that, but I thought they were officially licensed. Like I said, I could be wrong.
I don't think they were. I don't think they might be on your list because you're going for like the full
North American collection, yes.
But I don't think they have that like actual logo on there. They do have something that resembles it. They have like this weird.
Not saying I thought for sure that they had it on. They had it on there, but I could be wrong.
List, yeah, it's good that your list has it because mine doesn't. Remember when we were going and looking at NES games to buy at like Pittsburgh or somewhere? They didn't have, or was it Cleveland?
Yeah,
they didn't have the games on there that you were like, oh, the Pac-Man games or this.
Yeah,
my list didn't have it on my list.
My list had a different. So I got my list from a reseller. Yeah, them dirty resellers. I got it from them, and they said that this is the official North American. You got to get all of them, because I was wondering about the 6-in-1s. Does anybody know about those as well? Not that I'm not trying to change the subject here. Are they officially licensed as well, or official games to get the collection? Because let me tell you, some of them are pretty pricey, and I don't really want to go down that road.
They might not be official either, but obviously, if you're going for the full set, I think you can get them. You can throw them in.
Okay, they're saying I don't think they were licensed. So okay, cool. Maybe I won't have to get them, but I do have a few of them. So back to what I was saying. Back to what I was saying. I do have all those, and then I also have some other Tenjin ones, and as well as Two Dudes with Attitudes. If you guys look that one up, that one's I don't believe was officially licensed either, but you need it for the collection. So they're saying no, they're not official. Okay, cool. So, dirty reseller in the house. We've got CC Games as the dirty reseller.
Okay, says we're official. Oh, the Genesis 6-in-1 were official. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe just those.
All right.
Okay.
So,
yeah, well,
back
pretty
to
much. Yeah, we're just going over like the whole timeline of things, and that there was a rating system that was created in place.
Why don't we talk about this real quick? And this happened most recent, especially since I came from the home arcade space. How much censorship was in this? And it's, I get it. Some of it's due to licensing. Your boys, your favorites, the Ninja Turtles. Arcade 1-Up came up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4-play arcade game. It has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game.
Yeah.
And it has Turtles in Time that we all know from Super Nintendo. There are subtle differences in the ROM that Arcade 1-Up used for Turtles in Time. One of the other things that is very different is the intro music for Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. They didn't use the actual track from the actual game. Something to do with licensing with Nickelodeon. That's one. Let's take another trip down memory lane here just recently with Arcade 1-Up with, yep, you sports fans guessed it, NFL Blitz. Not only did they majorly hack this game up, but they took out late hits. That's one of the things that Brandy, a lot of people that play like a game like NFL Blitz, they play it for the late hits. I mean, that was only if you want to play football the normal way, you're gonna grab Madden or something like that. So just those two things in general. I mean, I can get on a soapbox to talk about NBA Jam. I could talk about what they did with Fast and the Furious, that it doesn't have all the cars. I mean, there's a lot with some of the recent games, and it's censorship. It really is, any way you look at it. And as a guy that was in the home arcade, it really ticked me off because it was like, well, I'm buying it at a premium price to play this, and it's not even like the original ROM.
Yeah, and the same, you brought up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We all know that over in like the UK, they changed it. You couldn't say ninja.
That's
it had
right.
to be Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yep.
So there was censorship with that. And I mean, it happens with everything, like not just video games, but with toy lines, with things that are found offensive, with weapons, with revealing like sexual nature. Like there's a Neo Geo game, and on the cover, they had to mark her out because I think you either see too much leg or you see cleavage or something you see on the game. And there's like uncensored versions, and then there's ones that have the marker where they like they couldn't share it because it was offensive.
Even down to most recently. Now, I don't follow up much in the home arcade space anymore, but I'll tell you, there was a company that just brought out well, it used to be called WWF WrestleFest. That's what it used to be called when I was growing up in the arcade. Now they have to do WWE, Brandy. Yeah. This was probably one of the best button mashing wrestling games of all time. I'll fight anybody on it. You know, you had your Ultimate Warriors, you had your Ted DiBiase's Earthquake, you had the Legion of Doom, you had Jake the Snake Robert, you had all the guys, Big Boss Man, Hulk Hogan. Well, when they brought it out, I think there's like 3 wrestlers that they took out of the original game. I think Sergeant Slaughter was one, and the Legion of Doom were the other 2, I believe. And I forget what, I don't know, remember if Macho Man was removed from Superstars along with Andre the Giant. That's the other game that's on the cabinet. But it's like, the whole point of you buying this, Brandy, is so that you can get that original, that original game, even all the way down to the artwork on the side of the cabinet. It's not original. So at that point, you might as well just emulate it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, that's just a problem on how it is, and it's even crazy to think because I didn't even realize that with a lot of the arcade 1-up stuff, and just all the stuff that you're saying. I really didn't realize it stemmed even further. Like it's still currently happening right now, like as often.
Really, you guys have never heard of WrestleFest? Are you being serious, or are you just busting my chops here?
They're probably giving you a hard time.
Okay, because I was going to say, that was the late 90s, 95, 97, somewhere around there. That was huge. That was a huge wrestling game. We all wanted it to come to Super Nintendo. That was about the only system that it probably could have played on. And instead they gave us Super WrestleMania, which I guess was okay. It wasn't. The Sega version was better. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Certain things in censorship, when it comes to licensing, I understand companies don't have control over it, but what happens to being like true to its original form or original, don't these people still get paid for it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. It's like, it's just crazy because you would think with all of this, they would try to do everything like the proper way to get the licensing no matter what. And I know it makes it complicated and it's hard and it's expensive, but I think people would rather have something that's true versus a chopped up version that now you're just trying to pass off, and it's just not what people remember, and then obviously that's not going to do as well.
Yeah, and that's why I won't buy it. On top of the crappy builds that they're doing anymore with these things, and not having any room, and the horrible community that's behind it. So, which leads me to the next part of censorship, okay? I wish I had a little a little slide that we put together, but I literally spent the last 2 hours trying to get the chats working so we could have chats. I felt that was more important, Brandy. But
I agree.
censorship in the community. Now, when I was in the home arcade space,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to get into dirty details. We're not going to get into, bashing this creator, bashing that creator. But there was a lot of censorship. There was a lot of people who would get in good with the companies that were making these home arcade machines, and they would hold it tight knit to themselves. And new creators, Brandy, let's say you were new to the home arcade space.
No,
they would no, I'm saying let's say you were new, like you were a new creator coming in. They would censor you. They would purposely, like if you were going to go live, say on a Wednesday, they would purposely have all their big creators that follow home arcade go live just to bury you.
we call that gatekeeping.
It's gatekeeping. It is a form of gatekeeping.
Yeah, but it is.
But
and,
it is
and
censorship.
We do see that. Yes, we do see that. And I mean, you can even like look at it as far as when you get product reviews and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So you can also kind of spin it that way too. Like companies expect you to say certain things, and people always say, "This is a view of my own," and this and that, and whatever they say. But at the same time, they're kind of censored in a way on what they're allowed to say versus not say.
That's why ever since I started working with you, I think we've been of the unction that for the most part we buy everything.
Yes.
Because we can then say whatever we want about it. Now, do we get review items from time to time? Yes. Do I still get my opinion on it and call it how it is? Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to do that because I'm not going to be bought off. But if you notice, there are companies that will purposely not send you a product if you're going to tell the truth, and you have a history of telling the truth.
Yes.
With reviewing products. They want somebody that can be bought off. I mean, Brandy, how many times have you gotten asked to do a review unit? They said they'll pay for it, they'll ship it, and then after you do the review, if you go on Amazon, they'll give you another $100, an Amazon gift card to leave them a fantastic review, even though you know darn well that thing's a steaming pile of you know what.
I've never had that happen.
Okay, well, I've had it.
I guess people don't care about me to throw me $100 or throw me anything like that. Usually they'll say, I've had a few companies say, "Hey, we'll send you a few items and $200 to review this," and then I get the items and I never get any money, but I never make a big deal about it because I'm just happy with the $10 or $15 item or $20 item. So
yeah, I've had it from a few Chinese companies. And Crimey Kid, we did get your submission. We have that going to be playing, as well as Kevin from CC Games Company. Both of these guys, you want to stick around for it later on. Both of these guys had some great insight into this. But that's something that we want to kind of, I don't know. I want to stay away from any kind of segregation here in the community. I don't want that. I've dealt with that enough over in the home arcade space. You know, you get new creators that come in, you should welcome them. Now, that doesn't mean you don't put your time in. Creators, don't just say, well, I can befriend this creator and then I'm just going to magically jump to the top. And
it doesn't
you got to work.
Like
you got to work hard. You got to put your time in. And
people think it works, but it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. You can be in a big creator's video, but you're not going to get like the same, people following. And then we could have people on the podcast or something, and we could still have about the same amount of views. Not all of their people come over to watch. Like people, they like who they like, and that's how it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm not going to force your people over here, my people.
Right.
We're not going to do all that. You like what you like. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And this is why we continue to stream this show on both of our platforms, so that Brandy's crew, you guys are all in her chat room. I'm not upset. I don't care. The main thing is that we can get the show out there to all you guys. This little relationship that we have here on this podcast is a prime example. Brandy can tell you till she's blue in the face for you guys to come subscribe to me. But if you don't like my content, you don't like my style, you don't like the way I do things, no harm, no foul, but you love the podcast, you're not going to subscribe to me. It's just how it is. Even though Brandy's, well positioned in the community, she's well over 20,000 subscribers. People don't seem to understand that you still have to do the work. You have to put in time. You got to build up, your brand. So where the censorship comes in is where people that are doing that, people start getting worried, the bigger guys, right? And then they start to, I wouldn't say bury them, but they subdue them. They kind of make it as if they don't exist, and they don't get included in different things. I think you had something like that happen to you, right?
And trust me, I had some power moves against me, and I rose above it. Hurt my wallet, but definitely had to prove a point that you can't just, bring me down, essentially. Like, we've all been at conventions, and there's been things that other creators want, and next thing you know, you're in a bidding war, and they may say that they're not going to bid, and next thing you know, you're bidding because you have to prove that you're going to win and that they can't just walk all over you. And I've had that happen before. Some of you guys might remember that I created a video about a convention. I made I wouldn't call it a clickbaity title, or whatever, because it was the truth. I talked 13 seconds not happy about the convention, and then I ended up talking, I still had a great time, I had fun, if you're going to go there, make sure you do this, get the most out of it, I bought this, I bought that, I'll still go back, blah, 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 but just don't get ripped off, yada, yada. I had people who run that convention reach out to me and tell me to change my thumbnail.
They spanked her.
And that's censorship. So then I made a video on censorship talking about that convention, but I never named the convention. People just kind of put it two and two together. And then years later, to be nice, because I ran into that person again, I ended up just slightly changing the thumbnail, but I wasn't ready to at first because I felt like it was censorship. But then I'm a grown adult and I'm a nice person. And later, several years after, I decided that I would go ahead and just change it. But I'm not deleting the video. I'm not deleting what I had to say. And if someone asks me my true, honest thoughts about certain conventions, I will let them know. And, it all happened. I'm not deleting those videos or anything like that. But I did change the thumbnail years after because I'm an adult and I'm the better person, So.
Well, I think there's a difference. And you guys in the chat room, correct me if I'm wrong, with Brandy's situation that she just talked about. There's a difference of being truthful, which she was, and being malicious to the convention that she spoke of. I think there's a big difference. She's giving her opinion of how she felt that the convention was, regardless if she got put out there on her dime or their dime. She's being truthful. I think there's a difference. I think she should have. I think they should have never asked you, Brandy, to remove it because you were out there on your own dime. You gave an honest opinion, and I would think they'd want to learn from that. You weren't being malicious about it. There's so many people out there that would be malicious about that. Yeah,
because you kind of go back and forth too, and it's like if they would have reached out and did it a different way, not you need to change this because this. Whatever. If they would have said, hey, I saw your most recent video. Yeah, too much games or too many games. If they would have reached out and said, hey, I saw your video that you did last year. What was your experience like? We'd like to make it better. Is there something specifically that happened? Is there something that we could do? And then I would have went off and said, this is what really happened. These are the 17 things that I didn't say in the video because I was being nice. And then I could have went and listed everything out. We paid a processing fee with cash. We were, pushed in this direction. We weren't allowed to leave out this door after several other people left out this door. We got yelled at. This happened, that happened, this happened. And we could have literally, talked it out. And then if they would have just said, look, we'd like you to come back out this year. You don't have to change anything if you don't want to, but we would appreciate it. I would have probably changed the thumbnail and then came back out and gave it a fair chance because that's what I am. I like to be a nice person. I like to, be honest with things. And I feel like that first 13 seconds or however long,
Yeah.
I could have said so much worse, and I could have said, you shouldn't go out here. You shouldn't do this. This was the worst, but I didn't. I kept it very like PG, and I just said, you don't want to get ripped off. You don't want to overpay. You don't want to buy from the first booth. You want to do your research. And then I literally said all the fun things that I did at the convention. So it's like, it wasn't really me bashing, and some people do. They literally bash
Oh yeah.
things, and they go at it, and some people
Well,
get mad about that.
Let's just call it, how many times has Gary with Korgs gotten bashed for his convention? By the same people he brings back. They'll bash him and he'll bring him back. Gary's got to be one of the most nice-hearted
yes.
showrunners that are out there. And whether you're a fan of his show or not, it's just like, that guy busts his hump. He tries to get something good, and he'll ask you straight out, what did you think of the show? And if you tell him, well, I didn't really like this. Yeah, I was bummed that it happened like that. Like, let's try to make this better next year. He doesn't sit there and come down on you and say, well, Brandy, you shouldn't have told me that. You know, that's hate speech. You shouldn't be doing. No, he wants to know, like, well, Brandy, what did you think? I mean, did you like it, or did you not like it, or?
Like, and I'm very honest too with like other showrunners. There's certain ones that reach out to me every year and they go, Brandy, if you don't mind me asking, what did you think about this convention? What did you think about this convention? Because he wants to make his convention more enjoyable for certain people.
That's right.
And I'm just honest. And yeah, exactly. I went back to that same convention, a couple years after the fact. I gave it a cool down period, and then I went back and I had a blast. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I'd like to go to too many games. I'll be honest. I was talking with Justin. I'd really like to go out there. It's in my neck of the woods, the Philadelphia area. But
it's only like an hour away from me too, so that would be prime. And at one point they were very strict on what creators they brought out, or even just gave like a media pass. And at one point, not that I expect anything at all, because I don't mind paying to get into things.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of ironic and funny in a way that at one point they said, no, we can't have you out because you wouldn't make an impact. And then like the next couple years later, my video like made a huge impact on their convention, and they asked me to take it down. So, that was kind of funny in a way, but it's just like, I don't hate anyone.
No.
From that, and I just want the experience to be much better, moving forward. And that's the thing. I'm willing to give everything another fair try. And the last year I went with Chase. He invited me out, and I had such amazing time. Like, I found some really fun things. I got some great deals. I feel like the prices kind of were leveling out a much more, and the way that things were handled were much better, and I didn't have any issues with it. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and some folks in the chat room are saying about Siege. Siege is another one. I've not been to Siege, but everything I've seen and everybody I talked to has said it. Even Austin. Austin's been in our chat room here on the show. He's been nothing but kind to us. So I have nothing. There's only one show that I can honestly say that maybe I was there on an off year, that I was disappointed. None that I hated. So let's get that straight. There's none. There's only been one show that I've just been like, man, I just feel like I didn't get nothing out of it. And, maybe things can change, but I keep quiet about it. I keep my opinions to myself, and I don't say to anybody, because it's like, it's not fair to the showrunner. And I'm not gonna. And you can guess if you want. I'm not gonna say yes or no. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I put out more than I got back in that sense, which is fine in the community. But I feel like if I was that showrunner, I'd be reaching out a lot more for somebody that kind of saved your butt a couple times. So, but Brandy, I've never gotten to the point where any of the shows, even the small rinky-dink ones, where I said, like, this is awful. Like, I don't know why I'm going. Like, I don't think anybody puts on a awful show.
Plus, I think it's like the experience that you make it. If you go in there with your head up and you're, oh, I'm better than that, of course you're going to have a bad time. If you go in there and you go, you know what, I had a great time. I talked to some people. They really enjoyed chatting with me. I had such a great experience. I found some great deals. It's like a win-win. Like, I've been out to smaller shows. I've been out to larger shows. I've been with bad people, when I was teamed up with another podcast. Obviously that wasn't the best experiences that I had, but it was because of who I surrounded myself with.
Yep.
That's how you could look at life too. If you're with people who are negative all the time, who are doing bad things, who aren't lifting you up, obviously you're not going to make it anywhere. If you rise above that, you have a positive attitude, no matter what's coming at you, of course you're going to have a great time. And that's kind of how you have to look at it in the gaming space.
Yep.
With all this stuff going on, with censorship, with bad situations. It's like you just have to keep pressing forward and you can't let this stuff get to you.
That's what I look forward to so much with these conventions and going to these conventions, is seeing my creator friends that are going to be there. I look forward to that so much more. And I could tell you right now in the chat room, CC Games, Kevin, he'll tell you the same thing. That, his vending and making money is cool, but hanging out with friends that he's made along the way, whether they're content creators or other vendors, that makes it all that much more worth it going out. It's like a family reunion of people that are not blood. And like, I enjoy it. Like, that's the thing I look forward to the most, is going out there and getting to hang with you at different places, Scott, and some of the other folks that we get to hang out with. And I get to see Daryl, a bunch of people come out. So it's a great time, more so than anything else, I guess. You can pick up games anywhere. You can message these vendors, and like, I could buy something from Kevin and he could send it out to me, like from his store, and I could pay for it. But
I think it's just too, like, the people really do make it. And I mean, we have YouTubers in the chat now. We have, people who watch our channels. We have friends. We have other vendors. And I think that that's the best part of these conventions. Like Chase is saying, questions, what do you want in a great show? Obviously, like, the vendors are great because they're the ones who have the product. You can't have the same type of vendor. Like, you can't go to a video game convention and have only toys or artwork and art prints. Like, you have to have that variety. And then obviously, like, all of our friends in here, I like catching up with people at these different conventions because we are so far away, and it's like a fun experience. And we may see each other a couple times a year in person.
Yep.
And then it's just like we're catching up. Like, nothing has dropped. I mean, I know we do the podcast every week, but it's like when I get to see you guys and your family and your kids, like, it's like time stood still and we're just having a great time. And, same with everyone else that we get to see in the chat.
It's like, Brandy, remember when Sophia was first born, when we went to, I want to say it was Torg, she was probably 7 or 8 months old, because it was November. Yeah, she was probably like 8 months old. Well, I had to run out to the car with my son, and my wife was trying to order stuff from Starbucks, and you and Stephanie were like, well, we'll watch Sophia. We'll keep an eye on her. And Stephanie was like in her glory, but we didn't even think about it. Like, oh, can we trust these people? It's like you just kind of pick up where you left off. You don't think of like, oh my gosh, these people are internet people. It's like, no, these are our friends. We just don't live near each other. We don't get to see each other. That's kind of how I look at it when we go to these conventions.
Yeah, like, I consider a lot of us, like, family. Like, I mean, like, Thomas is in the chat. You have the Germ. Like, all these people. Chase, you have PNX World. Like, I feel like all these people that we've met, at all these different shows, and then some that we obviously want to catch up with. Like,
did I meet the Germ?
Did
I meet the Germ?
I
don't know.
I don't think so. He was at he goes to Too Many Games. He goes to Retro World Expo.
Okay.
In, like, Connecticut. So we really got to hang out at some of those. I don't think you've met him yet.
So he hasn't been to like any Ohio or Pittsburgh or anything like that shows.
I don't think so.
Okay. This is the first I've seen him, so I wasn't familiar with the name. So if he's a creator, I'm gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, I believe he's like New York area based.
Okay.
Not to give it away.
Well,
I don't know your address. I'm not gonna like say the address, but I think like in like the Northeast region.
So we're all like East Coast people over here.
Yeah.
Except that he's sitting in 40 inches of snow if he's in New York.
Oh, probably. I'm sure he's he's living his best life. Hopefully playing some games and Yeah, he said never been to Ohio. Okay.
So what we're gonna do?
We're all great people. Yeah.
What we're gonna do, because I know Brandy wants to get out of here a little earlier because she's not feeling too good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna transition here. We want to hear what you had to say, and we had a few people had a few things to say about censorship. Let's take a look at it. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm Chris Sebastian from Play It Games, Movies, and Music, serving Central Ohio with 3 locations. You are watching Game Master.
What are your thoughts?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
All right, should there be censorship in video games? Usually the answer is no, but games like this is Kid Dracula on the Famicom. Awesome game. We didn't get it because I think it's the second boss has a swastika on the forehead of the ghost. Instead of removing it and releasing it here in America, they just didn't release it. Now, it did get released in the Switch Castlevania Collection, or Castlevania Collection on PlayStation, Xbox. It is in there, and they removed it. So I would say that is probably good censorship, but in general, censorship in video games is bad.
What a loaded topic! I could rant about this for hours, but I only got a couple minutes. I assume they're not talking about how many times you use the F-bomb in a sentence. I assume they're not talking about, digital pornography. I assume they're not talking about, excessive blood and guts and dismembering bodies and covering the screen of blood and body parts. I assume they're talking about Nintendo censoring all religious symbols, taking it out of games like Castlevania, preventing the release of Devil World in the United States, the Pac-Man clone, because there's a dancing devil on it, and then there's a Bible used to fight the devil's minions. And there's Karnoff, where they removed all the cutscenes because it was heavy on religion. Hurt the game as a result. And there's Maniac Mansion, where they discovered too late that people could throw a hamster in the microwave and cook it. I certainly wouldn't do that. It's kind of sickening. Nintendo wanted to keep things kid-friendly, which is why Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, they removed the blood and made it sweat and spit. Sega, of course, went all in on blood and guts. So did TurboGrafx. But Nintendo eventually had to cave and allow it because of player demands. Of course, Mortal Kombat kind of ushered in the rating system. So if you want blood and guts, you're going to have to buy a rated T or a rated N game. If you want it kid-friendly, you're still going to have to buy a KA game. But the censorship that bugs me is all these localizations where they remove certain content or modify the characters because they're afraid of offending a certain group of people, or they want to be catered to some sort of non-existent preferred audience. And then they kind of insult our intelligence with changing the game and putting things in there that really don't belong in there, and putting in content to kind of be preachy to us. Censorship should only be used if you're aiming for a rating on a game. Too much of certain things can raise that rating and move it up from a T to an M, or you could go way too far, like Rockstar Games had to find out the hard way with its Grand Theft Auto series. There's a certain point where they crossed from M to AO. So, censorship has a place, but it's for aiming for rating for a particular demographic. That's the only acceptable censorship. I am the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. Follow me on the Crimeycade tomorrow. Facebook.com/Crimeycade or Twitch, bit.ly/Crimeycade.
For those that didn't know, you can go check out Crimeycade. He'll be on tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern. He'll have to check me on that. It'll be in because we changed the time the last time, but I believe it was 9 Eastern because I did the show here from 8 to 9, and then I went over there. But I think it's 8 Central, 9 Eastern for his show tomorrow night. There's so many games, Brandy, that could be censored, but I thought the guys, they had a lot of really good points with that.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone in the chat bringing up a lot of these different games, different things that they have changed censorship-wise. I think everyone had some great things, going on in the chat tonight, and we definitely appreciate it. And no matter what you guys feel, like we said, we're not going to censor anything that anyone sends us, whether we, agree or not agree or whatever. I think it's always good hearing different sides of different things. So I know, some people in the chat saying, I'm waiting for a topic I feel like I can contribute to.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. What topic would you like us to talk about next week that you can contribute to? Because we're always open, right, Brandy?
Yep. We always are open to hear different things. We want to talk about little bit of everything. We just kind of went through the surface of different censorship with games, kind of how the ratings evolved, and then obviously censorship in the gaming creator space. And that's just kind of how it is. And, is that for every one person offended, 100 hear all about it from the YouTube. And I mean, there are content creators that all they do is, bash other people, and
we're not doing that.
They talk negative and all that. And, we're not really into that stuff.
Nope.
And I feel like most people nowadays, you kind of hear about worse things than what you'd even see in a video game anyway. The media that you consume, what's on the news, different crimes that happen in the story. So it's just, it's kind of like that. Yep.
So one of the things we want to, you guys could pull up the topics while you're thinking about some topics. Mark your calendars because March 19th, there will be no show that Wednesday. And we're
19th or is it? It's at
18th. 18th, Wednesday the 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. As we alluded to you guys earlier, there was going to be some times where we will have to cancel a show. We just want everybody. We're trying to be as transparent and upfront as to why. And I'm going to turn it over to Brandy. She's not going to get into total detail, but this is why.
Yes. So I don't want to just spring it on you guys last second. I am actually having a surgery on the 17th. So because of that, I do not think I will be able to make it for the show on the 18th. But I will try my very best. Going forward, there may just be a time where I may have to, from the recliner, do a podcast episode or two. I may also not look my very best. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know because I don't want to spring anything on you guys and I don't want to alarm people. This has been something that I've been trying to get approved for several years. It's finally coming to an end. I'm very happy about it and I'm hoping that it does go well. It's something that obviously it really needs to go well. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I don't want to alarm or scare anyone and I don't want people to freak out. It is a major surgery though.
Not life-threatening, but it is major.
Yeah, it's a little scary. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. But I do have all of you guys, so I am looking forward to that the following week, no matter how I feel. I'm hoping that you guys will lift my spirits and everything will get back to normal. I might be a little out of it, the following week or so, but hopefully everything goes well, and then going forward, I'll be able to not be in pain when I'm at some of these events.
Hey, she could surprise me and tell me on the Wednesday after her surgery and say, hey, I'm feeling good. Let's do it. I'll do it from the recliner and we'll do the show.
Yeah.
But as it sits right now, you're coming out of surgery. We don't know how she's going to feel. We're just letting you know that there is a strong possibility, very, very strong possibility there's not going to be a show that week. So just mark your calendars. Everybody's cool. The following week, because she's not really supposed to climb stairs and things like that, but we know Brandy and she might do it anyways and end up in her office because she has to move. If not, she has her microphone from doing her videos and her iPhone, so she'll be doing the show that way. That way we can continue doing the podcast, but there's at least right now, Brandy, at least 1 week that it'll be a hit or miss. So we want to be transparent with everybody.
Yeah, because I don't want to startle anyone. I don't want anyone to freak out.
They're canceling the show. They're canceling the show.
No. I don't want any, and I don't want people to get scared, just in case I do kind of disappear. But the goal is, I'm going to a convention this weekend. It's kind of like my little last hurrah for a minute, just because this will be several months healing time. Where things I have to take it easy.
Ooh, let's talk about this. This is a perfect topic for next week. When the right time to sell your game collection? Ooh, that's going to be a tough one for Brandy to talk about. I don't know if we could talk about that one.
Maybe if you have surgery and it doesn't go well, then you sell it. I don't know.
So I'm with Alex. He's like, if only she had a tub that she could sit in to do the show. I wonder. Well, she'd have to sit in there with a bunch of cardboard. But we could do that. What are some topics that you'd like us to discuss? That's not a bad topic of when is the right time to sell your game collection. Where's the conversation? So we have 2 chat rooms. So
I think he meant the convention.
Oh, where's the convention? I'm sorry.
So I'm going to Raleigh. Not
Raleigh.
Retro Gamers. They have their kickoff show. They obviously also have their Game and Geek Expo as well. It's on the shirt. Can't see the shirt, but it's on the shirt. And they have this convention. It's I'm trying to figure out where it is.
It's in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's in Raleigh. It's at a mall. Maybe if Chase chimes in.
Chase is probably in it. He could tell you.
Okay, it's right here. Triangle Town Market, Raleigh Retro Gamers. It's at the mall. I guess if you just search Triangle Town Market Mall or Triangle Town Center, it should pop up. It is a Saturday show. So obviously I have to get some sleep so I can get rid of some of this congestion and be good to go. But it's Raleigh. Not Riley.
Raleigh.
Yes, it's a kickoff show. So I'm going to get tons of content. I have a new series that I'm finally getting to. I'm just filming different segments for it. And I'm excited because I'm going to have plenty of content here. So even when things are going, with the surgery and things like that, you'll see me, I guess, quote unquote, out and about, but I'm filming a lot of content at this convention. I'm filming plenty of things ahead of time, and I'm doing pictures. I'm doing giveaways as well on Pokemon Day in just a couple days. I'm doing a whole giveaway, Pokemon stuff. So you guys don't want to miss out because I have big things coming with some giveaways, Pokemon Day, Mario Day, different things like that. And I'm excited for it. So, the pink. That's why when you said what kind of shirt did you want, I was like, oh, I'll take a different color because I have this really cool pink shirt
They wanted me to lift. They wanted you to lift the shirt, so all I have to do is pull the lower third down, so you can can show it if you want to stand. Stand. Oh, there it is.
Geek Expo. They also do obviously the Gaming Geek Expo. I think on the back of the shirt too, it has it much larger. But this is a really cool shirt for another one of their events. But this one is a free community event. It's free to get in, and it is Saturday. It's like all day Saturday at the mall. There's like, over 90 some different vendors there. I'll also have a few odds and ends. I'll have Game Masters pins, stickers, Gamer Aimer stuff. I have a t-shirt of Game Masters. I have Gamer Aimer t-shirts. I have a hat, but the hat's already promised to someone. So obviously, I have plenty of stuff. A lot of it's free, not the hat and the shirt, but the rest of the stuff is free. So if you guys do want to get merch and you guys are near North Carolina or Raleigh, North Carolina, you guys definitely want to check it out. I don't know the size comparison, but because it is a free event, I think it's probably worth checking out, because I would think that a lot of people will come out to it, and having over 92 different vendors or tables is pretty good size, I would think. I
was gonna say it's probably because it's a single day. I would say it's kind of more of the appetizer of the full blown conference convention that's going to be out in September. So don't think of it as like, oh, it's like this enormous, like Chase and them. They put out a big one that comes out in September, but this one is kind of like the appetizer. This is the one that like, hey, this is a third of our vendors for. I think it's September, or was it October?
I think it is September. Yeah, for the big Gaming Geek Expo.
For the big Gaming Geek. So this is like a third of, what they would normally do. It's just kind of to be like, hey, we're a brand new convention. We're trying to get you guys to come out, check it out. But so this is a little appetizer. So think of it as, I call them appetizer conventions. You'll see a lot of them down south, believe it or not. There's one in Georgia that happens. I think you've seen that one before too. I forget what the name of it is, but they do it in a mall as well. These are one-day events.
Shockingly, they said that obviously they've been doing these free events well in advance before the Gaming Geek Expo came to, and they can have thousands of people show up, which is wild.
Yeah, you're going to probably have more people show up than you're going to have vendors. It's going to be elbow to elbow because everybody's there, for one day. So, I'm interested to see the footage. I know we're supposed to be going down in September, unless things change for the Gaming Geek. So Chase better roll out the red carpet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Outside that, so let's wrap this up.
Yes.
I know you want to jump off. Let's pull this last comment up because it looks like somebody says, Brandy, good evening.
Hey.
How are you doing? Nice to see you at your best.
Yeah, thanks for popping on in. Definitely appreciate everyone chatting with us and popping in. If you guys missed anything, just rewind it, go on back. You guys don't have to always listen live. Yeah. You can listen to us on, Spotify and iHeart, and
a bunch of
there's
places.
Like several different places. So you guys don't always have to watch the video. We recommend it because you'll see extra little tidbits. Sometimes we have people who send in clips. Sometimes we show off different games. He showed off his 3D print tonight. Sometimes we have different little pickups and things like that. So you guys definitely want to check out our videos. But if you guys do want to just listen, you could do that as well.
Yeah, and it looks like, speaking of the 3D printer, it looks like the chute is, like you can see right now, the chute is being printed right there. It's doing a good job.
Surprisingly faster than I expected.
It said it was about 3.5 hours that it said it would take that to get done. So then I'll have my poop chute done. I can put that on the back of the machine. That's literally what they call it. So I'm interested to play more and see what else I can design and make, and hopefully I can make some for like Game Master stuff that I can bring to conventions this year if you guys want to come. But
that'd be cool.
Like I've made, I don't know if I showed that, the Nintendo sign. Got that made, just did a solid color. And for those joining. And then I also did this one. It's a little sign. I'm going to put a magnet on the back, hanging on my refrigerator over there. Just something, just playing around, trying to learn the printer. Nothing what Kevin can do from CC Games, but still having fun, playing around with it. So, I'll still be making getting stuff from him. So I'm making it. It looks like a slide, and Kevin knows what it is. They call it the poop chute. So when it cleans the nozzle off and changes the color, it drops what looks like a small piece of poop, like a Hershey Kiss style of that color, and it goes down and it ends up on my floor, which I didn't know that you had to make one of these. So this slide, it's a slide that comes off the back, and it's going to go into looks like a little dumpster can, so that I can just take it and dump it after every print. So, so yeah, I'm going to be making some different stuff for the Game Masters. I'm going to try to make some different little mini statues for in the game room. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Maybe not, because I don't want to turn into a 3D channel. This is just something. This is something to play around with and have. Well,
like a little short or something when you make something cool would be neat to see.
So the poop chute, yep, got all that. So Kevin's got the beast machines. I don't. Mine's just a little machine having fun. So I'm glad, Brandy. What looked like it was going to turn out to be bad with the chat not having it. I called Brandy like an hour before, and I'm like, guess what? They broke the chat application. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh no. So we had a backup, which it worked.
Yep.
It worked really well.
That's perfect.
It worked perfect for us for tonight, and now I'd rather use this one because it's a lot easier to use than doing the other one. So going forward, we'll continue doing that. Brandy, what video do you got coming out this week?
I have an idea of something. It's kind of like one of my talking video games thing to kind of make you think. I just have to film that, and then obviously I have something for Pokemon Day. I'm doing a short where I'm doing a giveaway, and then that's Friday, and then will have tons of content coming from Riley Retro Gamers. So I can't wait. Tons of content. I'm hoping I find some great deals. Obviously, there's some video game stores around there, and there's a limited run game store. So I may or may not make it out to those locations on top of the convention.
Hey, if you do go to the limited run game store, let me know, like message me or whatever, if there's something like Castlevania wise there. I can always send you money through
PayPal.
Whichever. Whatever you use.
I only have those two. I don't have the rest yet.
Okay. So, because then you could pick something up for me
from
there, because I've not been down that way. But
sometimes they have deals.
That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, they have slightly damaged boxes where it might just have like a little tiny like nick in the paper cardboard outer box, and it might be like 40% off.
Yeah.
Or 80% off. Like they had some crazy games like that, and then sometimes they have like a $10 table. So
yeah, so if you come up with that, as far as I go, I have some shorts that I'll be working on. I think I have some long form videos that I'm going to put together, and I might do something on the 3D printer as it's making some gaming stuff. We'll see, and I think it'll answer a lot of questions, because I think a lot of people think you have to be super technical to make one of these work. And you don't. If you can operate software and you can drag and drop files. Now, I'm not talking editing files. I'm just talking about dragging and dropping files. You can have it. So maybe we'll do a video on that. But guys, let us know some comments of things that you would like us to talk about, and we'll put together a show for you for next week. We like these out of the box topics because it's a lot of fun. It's stuff that we all deal with, right?
Yeah. And
I think next week, maybe, Brandy, we should talk about that. When is the right time to sell your collection? Because I'm not at that point yet.
Yeah, and I'm not there either.
And I know you're not there, but I'm curious to see, like, if somebody's fallen on hard times, I don't know. We'll talk about it next week, but I appreciate Daryl for the topic. If you guys got topics, throw them in the chat. Even after the show's over, leave them in the comments on Brandy's video or my video. We check our comments. We respond to just about everybody.
Yes.
Unless it's not really a question or whatever, but we try to respond, and we will get back with you on that. So, guys, until next time, we are going to bid you adieu. Brandy's already staring off into space.
a good show. That was a long show. What are you doing here? The show's over. What are you doing? Go away. What are you doing? Do you see this? Look.
What are you doing in there?
Why are you here? The show is over. Go home.
Go away.
Get lost.
Oh my gosh. Just in our house?
Yeah, go away.
Wonder how much more I can actually fit into this shower here. I feel like I have plenty of room to go ahead and put more stuff. Wait, why are you guys here? You guys aren't supposed to see this. I'm not doing anything in here. This isn't storage. You guys need to get out of here. Go home. Go, get out of here. Stop watching. You don't need to see anything in here.